we introduced AI to our team also. So what we did is we said, hey, everybody get Claude Code. Please use Claude Code. What's happening on ground is kind of aligned that the speed ups are not happening once you try to take these things to production. Generally, these wipe coded apps have no telemetry hooks, no way to track. They go and do the job, but doesn't do what you need in production, which is managing your all the KPIs that you do. What is the new way, or how can you do the same with AI if you want to take the benefits of these AI agents? Kind of come up with something similar, and which is what people are calling spec-based AI agents or spec-based AI development.
Manish, why do we need to have them separately? Why can't we just have one skill, PRD to HLD to LLD? Can't we make it
Yeah,
even simpler?
because the more instructions you give, the more broader you are, the harder it is to control these AI agents. Hello, good morning. Happy 4th to all of you. Yesterday I was on a flight and in night I was at 8:30. I was flying from Toronto to Bay and I had a stopover in Chicago and there was a thunderstorm and they said that I was on a plane for like 2 hours just on the plane waiting to take off. They were not letting us fly. And there was a probability that I could get stuck in Chicago, but it didn't happen. So I'm glad that I'm here. Hopefully, you are glad that I'm here too. All the time I was thinking is that how can I handle this session and tomorrow's session also. So tomorrow we have a new cohort starting, and then I was like, okay, these two sessions won't happen from Chicago because then I was calling Rages and figuring out like, hey, can we get a place? Can I have the sessions tomorrow from here? Uh, but eventually they figured it out and we flew, and I think I landed here at 3. So if I look fresh, it's all the credits to the airport authorities and the world around us. I think everybody does a great job, and there is so much people involved to make these things possible. So happy 4th to all of you, and I'm glad that I'm here. By the way, I'm flying to India tomorrow. So that was the other wrench in the story that, I needed to go. And then I was like, okay, should we cancel India flights? But all that worked out. So today we're going to talk about the world where a lot of things are not working out, which is what I told you to do. I told you to go and learn vibe coding because, especially for product managers, I think it is an essential skill. It is still an essential skill, but I think the expectations are growing. And one thing I do with my cohort people is that I continue to talk to them after the cohort if they are going through interviews, or if you are going through building stuff, they can book time with me. And if it is good enough, like they have a second level interview, I try to find time for them. And I'm seeing a new trend. And also, I'm building with my team. And I'm seeing this new trend of how can we actually bring the benefits of AI into real timelines, real production scale systems. And there is a gap if you're just going to learn vibe coding and if you just know vibe coding. And we are trying to fill that gap today, or at least expose that gap enough. And then we can build all along or give you enough resources that you can try this new way of doing things, which is, I would say, vibe coding plus plus, or if vibe coding was C, this is Python or Java. So it's like step function increase. So that's the goal today. That's the agenda today. With that agenda, let's get started because as always, I have a lot to cover, and I will be building this with all of you together. So I will have few breaks in between. I will land few ideas, and then I will ask you questions in between, and then you can ask me questions at 45 minutes or so. When I'm done, I will take questions like 15 minutes. I will do Q&A with you on the ideas that we discussed, not and little bit beyond as well. But during the session, I will try not to take a lot of questions so that I can finish what I want to land and why you joined the session for. Most of the people came here to listen to or get the insights that we already have. So I would love to land those insights. So those are the things. If you are here for the first time, anybody here for the first time, raise your hand. Maybe a couple of people. Arjita told me that she sent a lot of people our way. No, no one is new. Okay, great. Rahul is new. Deshmand is new. Toby is new. Great. Ranjan is new and Rudra is new. Great. Welcome to our community. I'm Mahesh. At least when I do this slide, at least I have something to say about. Hi, I have worked in all man companies and I'm building my own company, which is building agentic system. Welcome, Satya, and welcome, Inach. Been working in AI for more than a decade now, and I've built agents. I've built frameworks to build agents. First, I build models, then I build frameworks to build agents on top of those models. And then I used my own frameworks to build and ship agents. And currently, I am building uh, agents which are helping people leverage the ROI in AI, and also building agents which automate functions like legal, finance, and HR, back office operation. I'm teaching for a long time. I've been teaching in high schools, then internally at our own companies. I created courses all along because I just love to teach. And I'm taking this session for almost every day, every week, even if I fly late at night to this place. I try to keep this session alive. So I'm doing this session every Friday for last 3 years continuously. If you want to connect with me, this is my LinkedIn. Just send me a request and I will accept it if the request comes in the next 2 hours. If you send me after that, I won't be able to take it. So that's me, and that's the action item here. How to have fun in this session? Turn on your cameras, because without that, I don't know that Shiraj is like this. And now I know Raghav is there. Now I know Satya is there, and Janice is there, and Abhijit. It's just easier for me to talk to you and build a good session. If you turn on your cameras, if you don't, it's just not fun for me. And I'm pretty sure if not fun for me, it's not going to be fun for you. Thank you, Paula. Thank you, Anu. Then, if you have questions, there is a board, or you can just drop your questions in chat, and my team, Arjita, Lohit, Sachin, are in the call, and they will bring the relevant questions in the halftime, so all of us can be on same page as well. Okay, hold on to your live questions. Don't raise your hand during the session, but after I'm done, I will give you 15 minutes to ask just questions. Till that time, put it in chat or things there, and we will bring them in. We are going to talk about vibe coding, what is vibe coding, and challenges in bringing vibe coding or vibe coded stuff to production. Then we will introduce some new ideas around spec-based development and show you how can you go and build spec-based systems, and then give you practical advices or step-by-step guidance on building these systems. Great. So that's our agenda today. With that agenda, let's get started. I generally I try to start within 5 minutes, but today 2 minutes. Okay. So challenges in vibe coding based or traditional PRDs. So today what happens is that you take a traditional PRD which has user solution, what is the problem, what is the solution, who you are solving it for, what are the metrics you're going to follow, and you write that two-pager, which I think is essential, is very important because it aligns all humans. And then you throw that PRD to a agent, Claude Code, V0, Lovable, and you get an app. And you believe you have conquered the world, you have solved the problem. Actually, the world is a little different. Uh, so this is the world that we live in, or we are supposed to live in. So this is what productivity multiplier for coding jobs. And this is just projections. So every time these are papers which said that coding should be 1.5x more. Then in 2025 we said we can make it 2x better with Opus 4.1. System card said that, hey, we tested it in our teams, and here is my thoughts, which is fable for you now. And they said your coding can be actually 4x faster if you use AI models or if you use AI agents to do coding. Everybody agrees with this, Taina? Anybody disagrees? Dave is like with me. Okay, then what happened? They did another study, and that study said this is a real study. So they put some 246 tasks, 16 developers, and they put allowed them to have coding. So this was the forecast of, and 16 developers across 246 tasks of engineering, and they seen like what are the actual gains. And what they have seen is that they are seeing 20% more time is spent by the people. So they did an A/B test, and they give half of them AI tools and half of them no AI tools. And they have like entry level and mid level engineers in this study. And they found that actually what happening is we were forecasting 30%, 40% gains, even like this is beyond just Anthropic making these projections. But actually, we are losing 20% time if we introduce AI tools in engineering life cycles. Surprise, surprise. Can tell me why. Why is that? Now it's your turn. My job is done. I came all the way to give you this data, and now we can all be gone home. So, uh, Anthropic says that, hey, I have the most powerful model, Fable 5. With Fable 5 in the benchmarks, as well as our projection is that we will be able to speed up your development by 4x. That means one engineer can do the work of four engineers, or you can do four times, one engineer can do four times more work. But in actual, what we are seeing is when we test it, we are saying we are 20% slower. That means we, if we have a team of five, we actually need six people if you want to do AI. Have you guys seen that? Like, to be honest, like I've seen that. Like, we introduced AI to our team also. So what we did is we said, hey, everybody get Claude Code. Please use Claude Code. And what's happening on ground is kind of aligned that the speed ups are not happening once you try to take these things to production. And I kind of spent last month or so in trying to see why. Why is that? And first of all, like, so this is that. Do you want to guess? Anybody want to tell me why? Why this can be a problem or what's happening with these vibe coding stuff? Vibe coding is you write a prompt and say, hey, build this app. You also give a two-page PRD, and the PRD has what traditional, what is the problem you are solving, what is the solution, what's the metrics, and maybe a roadmap or what's to be added in MVP. All of you created this. I also taught this, like, means this was part of our cohort that you just finished. And if you took that two-page PRD that you built, you gave it to Claude Code or V0 or Lovable, what you get is you get a cool AI generated build or AI generated app. And then you talk to customers or you take it to customers, or before customers, you will do more things with it. So I want to stop here and take like your feedback on this. Like, first, if this hypothesis is correct, why is why is this happening? Why are we wasting
I
time?
can take a stab at it, Mahesh.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Um,
Reasons.
Even though the AI is generating code and doing the tests and generating docs and everything so fast, the humans are trying to impose the old style agile ceremonies into it. And that's slowing
Old
down.
style, old
We need to
style
get away
dev
from there.
practices slowing down AI.
Mhm.
Makes sense?
Somebody mentioned that it takes longer to uh, review the AI code. I don't see that happening.
Yeah, means you can put
People
AI
who
to review AI code
really,
also, right? So
yeah,
what we did is we said, hey, everybody takes the code, we give them this two-pager document, and they give us the app. And then I have my architect, and I said, hey, you should review everybody codes because this will be crap, and like now we will have a disaster.
yeah.
So what this dude did is, so either you take it to your customers, or what you do is you review this code, right? So now you review this code, review or test, right? So you review or test this code first, like, and make sure that all the features are working. And what happens in this stage is that either you find a lot of bugs and you go and write better PRD, or you start just prompting it again, right? You say, hey,
Even
fix
if you
this.
prompt it again, you get to go review the PRD and rewrite it or
Correct.
enhance
So
it.
either you can go, and by the way, this can be also like done by AI. So there is little AI here also generating the PRD, AI here, and people have gone and put AI here also. So what he
Yes.
did is he also put a reviewer who he gave instructions, and now we have a AI reviewing AI.
Mhm.
And this cycle is so cool. Everybody's having fun, but underneath what's happening is
Mahesh, you have captured from a user intent the features, but to make it production worthy, you have a lot of non-functional features like scalability, reliability, performance, security vulnerabilities. These are all the things that we forget when we do a wipe coding. And
great.
and and of course, you may have captured, again, I'm using very cautiously the word, you may have captured the user intent that gets converted into features or product requirements in some form. But when you're translating the product requirements into a full-fledged production-worthy app, you also have to really bake in, all the ones that are, that will really
Great.
make a production-worthy app.
Yeah, so you're saying, hey, we got this and we can accelerate this, and maybe there is a 1x or like 1.4x development, like we can do this faster, but down the stream, adding security, adding your design practices, adding your scale capabilities, like can I scale this? Is this following the same architecture? Can I get the containers? Can I deploy them? All this is not
Yeah.
or have less impact of AI, and that's where most of the time goes in development. That's why the overall time may be slower. But how can you justify this? Is okay. I agree with you. So I put it here. But where is this 20% lesser time? Can
What
you
I'm
diagnose that?
doing right
One more
now,
shot, and then I move on.
what I'm
The
doing right now,
20%
Mahesh, is once I am happy with the prototype or I've gone into like the first piece of a review cycle or second piece of review cycle, I stop and I ask the AI to make me a deploy script and give me a deploy workflow for it. And I also start uh, insisting on the non-functional requirements and start
Yeah, so I think you are saying
evaluating
this can
and
be
measuring.
accelerated, right? I agree with you, right? That this also can be accelerated with AI. So we can also AI build this,
Yeah.
and that's happening. But like, just let's focus here first, right? Okay, our intuition is we can build faster. At least let's just focus on build for the time being. And yes, we can build faster, but we are saying when we give a, a 16 engineers these tool and say build faster, actually they are building slower, 20% slower. Why that can be? And what I've seen in this is that with my own teams and with my own experiments, and I was curious about this. I was like, is this new real? Because if this is real, then all our hypotheses are getting challenged. Is AI here? Is AI actually going to make a dent if this is build is slower? So what happens is in this journey, you generate bunch of code, you review it or you test it. If you do with the AI, I think it's straightforward. But if you actually test it, you will find a lot of bugs in this process because this two-pager is not broad enough to put a lot of requirements constraint for AI. And it has done work which you as a user doesn't agree with or want to improve upon. So you go back and prompt it. And what I have seen is it goes and rewrites most of the code again because there are
Correct.
no bounding functions. This is not a closed loop. It goes and rewrites the PRs. So this is what we have seen with customers also. We try to say, hey, who is the top guy in your team? And then we said, okay, if we have line of code generated by AI going to production, then if whoever writes the most lines of code should be the person who should go get the rank one. And we did that. But then we saw that the next time a bug came, this person go and overwrite all of the previous line of code. So we have to do better attributions. And for that, we started removing those attributions that we gave earlier. And we only, if you wrote a code and if you found a bug and that bug overwrite the code that you written, we penalized you rather than rewarding you. And with that, we saw that people who were not using AI tools were better off because they didn't get the penalty. It's like multiple choice questions in quizzes, where if you answer the question, you get 2 marks, but if you answer wrong, you get -2. if you start doing that, because there is a cost to it, right? So you wrote the code. If you rewrite the code, it solves that bug, but then it introduces another bug. It forgets the last one. And this cycle goes on. This means you are spending a lot of new tokens. You're doing token maximizing, but you're not building the right features. Also, as you rightly said, that there are a lot of other requirements around security, safety, uh, dev practices, old style, your design, and all. Those are not put in practice. So going to production is the first time you realize it. Then you have to rewrite this whole thing again. Okay, now how to solve this, right? So we got to the problem. We understand that there is a problem. If you want to do only web-based coding, then you might not be able to gain the kind of things that we have today with AI models.
So
Okay,
white-based
then,
coding was back in January and February, maybe. But after that, I moved on to spec-based, and I go through, like, make sure I have a PRD. I'm happy with the PRD, go into the design, then start making tasks, create issues, and then uh, build it.
great.
I know everybody's
So
coming in with, like, they don't have the confidence that AI can actually build, but from what I'm seeing, I'm getting a lot better coding, much better performance, uh, just going through the spec-based, spec-driven stuff, uh, because
yeah, and
I
let's
end
talk
up
about we'll
creating,
go
yeah.
there. We'll go there. Just follow along, right? So one, this is like there are four reasons. One is old style dev practices slowing us down. Instead of that, I can say that what are the four reasons for this not happening? One is you don't have production ready code in your systems, which is you're not following the right practices, like what is your front end written in. If your front end is written in React, maybe you are writing Next.js code because AI chose that code and you did not specify. You don't have like fine directions around what is your front end versus back end, what is the AI component. And unless you have defined it, you already have an existing app. Or if you don't have an existing app, you have something that has your coding specs. Like, how are we coding? What is the rules we follow? If you don't specify that, then it's hard to integrate it or even take it to production a fresh app. So that's first thing. Second thing, it doesn't have the engineering team context. What is that? That means you are not using your database schemas. You are not pointing to the current databases. So we saw that also, that people created new databases and they want to go to production. And now we have three databases and now we don't have different tables, and we have created same idea, but same information is getting stored in three tables. And all my product insights are not coming to me because I'm just looking in a previous table while this new code is writing into its own new table. Okay.
Mahesh,
Similarly, your intelligence. There was generally these wild coded apps have no telemetry hooks, no way to track. They go and do the job, but doesn't do what you need in production, which is managing your all the KPIs that you do. They were not part of it. And fourth is what I have seen is the design patterns. Like your app has the buttons needs to look like this, things needs to behave like this, they have to look and feel in this color, this palette, this font. That is not provided to AI. So your new app or a page developed by this vibe coded stuff look like somebody entered this room and we have like this is a movie and this is an action movie, and suddenly there are love songs in it. So that's the kind of things that this whole experience looks like once you try shipping these vibe
Mahesh,
coding stuff. Yes.
how does this apply to greenfield versus brownfield products? And
Yeah.
also to like a few people company versus a larger enterprise?
Yeah, Rahul. Just hold on to your questions. I will take questions in between, right? But let's park your questions. Greenfield versus existing code. and small versus large. Okay. So that's what your current approach and the vibe coding tools are not providing you, or the challenges that you will run into if you go only with vibe coding into production. I'm not saying that vibe coding is bad. Vibe coding is an awesome way to get early feedback, create mocks, create mocks, early feedback, and build prototypes. I think these are all good things, but going to production, you will run into these four or more buckets of problems if you really want to get benefits or ROI of your investment. Okay, then what should we do? How can we solve this problem? How can we take the benefits of AI writing code, which is the biggest innovation in 2025, 2026, last 8 months? The biggest impact of AI is in building stuff or writing code. So
Maybe
how
we,
can we
we
go and solve this problem?
maybe we build frameworks actually previously when used in the developer world, right? We build
Yeah.
some generic frameworks. We spend a lot of time in building frameworks. Maybe we can use the AI to build some strong frameworks and
Yeah.
then
So there are
start.
few frameworks that are proposed, and we tried them also. So the first framework is, hey, you design and test, which is what we were saying, right? Hey, you build and test, right? That's what the current framework is. So we build, we test. If it doesn't work, we come back, we fix it, and we go, right? Then people propose to solve this problem in production or accelerate the AI adoption is they said, let's switch it up. Instead of building, you take a PRD, you write all the tests first, then build, and during build, make sure all these tests are passing. So at least you constrained it, you make it happen that this is going in, that when you're writing or this AI agent is writing your build code, it knows or it has this eval closed loop. So it will get the context, it will write code, and then it will run tests. And instead of you coming and writing that, then it will go and gather more, does more compaction or other things that it needs to do. And then it will go in this closed loop. And if you provide the tests here, then you can solve this problem. Same page, right? It's test-driven development, TDD. Great, somebody gave me the name.
What
What's
if
the problem with
people
this?
what if people use AI to write those tests?
Yes, AI, you can use the AI to write those tests, but till the time you have this test and then human review, that's good. People are using like AI to write tests also, right? So AI driven, you take the PRD, instead of building with the PRD, you write the tests first, you ensure that you have comprehensive tests, and then you give the test and the PRD to the AI agent, and the AI agent can go and build and run this loop. And in this loop, you have a closed loop system. And when it comes out of it, it has passed all the tests. Any problems with this?
Find your user behavior.
Finer user behavior. Tell me more.
Well, unless you've defined the workflow.
Okay, you are sounding like some, Akashvani,
He's in space.
like some radio broadcast. So next time, maybe we will look at it. But the main challenge I have seen when we put this in is first, it's very hard to write or imagine all the tests unless you have something that is working out of box. Even the best of us, the voice of code, yeah. But if you take the PRD and you say, I'm going to write test, it looks great. Even if you use AI, anybody who reviews this step is where you have shifted the burden. And we as humans are not trained to write or review test before looking at the code. And it's very time consuming for us if you write all by hand, or if you review AI written, it's easy for you to ignore most of the things that are critical. And then you fall back to this loop again. So that's one. Second is you're just wasting, or this is a very long token consuming AI spend increased loop. So this is the loop when our customers have gone and implemented, they found that they are spending 10x to 20x more tokens implementing this. Okay, then this is what Anu was talking about. Then there is a third way, which is what we're going to talk about today. The third way says, let's do it in even more aligned way, which is aligned to how humans, which is called spec-based AI development, which Anu was like giving a hint to all of you. And I think this one is going to stick because I've seen early directions, and after I saw early results, which are plausible or better than what I have seen with these two, I also did more research, and seems like more and more people are getting into this new way of doing things than the old way of doing things, which is these two. And this is new, like this is like 3 months in practice.
Mm-hmm.
So what is this inspired by is the old way, which is you take requirements. This is what a PM gives you. Then you go to engineering or an AI architect or TLs. And what the TL does is the TL goes and does a design. And based on the design, you do implementation. And then you have your QA and test. And then you go, and this cycle goes for some time. And then you go deployment, which is what you were talking. Somebody gave the earlier hint, which is like how to scale it, all that. This can be AI driven also, like you can write your Terraforms and scripts with AI, and that can do the deployment. And once deployment, you get into maintenance phase.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Everybody understand SDLC, software development lifecycle? This is the old way of doing things. What is the new way, or how can you do the same with AI? Is the first workflow, or for us to go now and build. If you want to take the benefits of these AI agents, we have to kind of come up with something similar, and which is what people are calling spec-based AI agents or spec-based AI development. In this process, what happens is first you can generate a PRD, and your PRD will have more sections than a prd.md file, which is written for AI agents and humans, but mostly the primary customer is AI agents. So that's your step one. You take that step one and you generate a high level design, or call it engineering.md file. And then you review it with humans. Then you take this engineering plus PRD and you write spec.md for different features that you want to build. That also you can review. Humans are trained, our teams are trained to review high level designs. And if you give them high level designs, they're trained to review specs, because this is what they were doing here, right? Before you go design to implementation, the whole team used to review this design. Sometimes even PMs are added to that. So now once you have this, then you can give this spec.md to your AI agents, along with the tests, which are part of the spec. And we see this landing better results. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So instead of just taking the PRD and giving it to the AI agent, there are two additional steps to this, which is the design phase. So this is the design phase. And in this design phase, you are using AI to generate an engineering.md and a spec.md file, or a high level design, or a spec, or a lower level design. This can be LLD dot lower level design, high level design. And if you build these two, then you provide these two AI agents, the agents hallucinate less and produce more value. Let me just take 10 minutes and land this home with a real example, so that all of you can see how actually this is implemented, and use this to practice spec level development as well, without knowing how to code or being a no code developer as well. Today is mostly coding specific, so little technical session, but I think if you follow this lab or follow along this deck, you will be able to build or develop this also. So this is where I left you. We were seeing this problem that we were expecting speed up, but we actually have slowdowns. Then we said, why is that? Because you are writing prompt, AI generating code. And then what happens is you edit prompts, AI generate more code. This keep on going. And then you get to desired state. And most of the time, you may not even reach the desired state and you have to go back and write with humans again. That's where a lot of the waste is. We did this, we took this PRD. So this is our PRD, which is what we preach or kind of the format which we teach. I took that PRD and I created an app using a simple prompt. I gave this prompt to Claude. I put the best model out there and I gave this simple PRD, which has, hey, I'm building a contract specific app. It will allow users to review contracts and find risk in them. This is my user. I'm not building it for lawyers. I'm building for people who does not have access to lawyers like sales reps, uh, CEOs and others, so that they can accelerate the velocity of sales. Okay. Uh, and the legal will be the final stamp, but most of the work can be done by the earlier teams before hitting the lawyer. Okay. This is my core metrics. I'm looking for higher accuracy. I'm looking for latency. I'm looking for better plan. These are my features. This is my roadmap, P0, P1, and I put some constraints and I put some pricing so that you can also figure out which are different users. And I gave this simple 1 or 2 page PID to my app and actually build the app. Here is the app. You can sign in, but when it did the sign in, anybody can sign in because I didn't put any restrictions. So I can put any email address. I can just say ABC and it will still log in because it's just behind the scenes. It has not implemented any authentication. So you will think it will work and you can create an account and you will test it. It seems like it will work, but it doesn't do anything. You can say ABC or you can say XYZ. It just logs in because it has no backend, no authentication. Okay, then you want to look at the NDA. You can get extracted terms. You can chat with it. Seems real, but if you go to chat and if you just say hi, it breaks because it kind of behind the scenes, the code is just trying to emulate or fool you. So if I say hi, it says based on the agreement, the conference is 3 years. I just said hi. So I'm like, okay. And you can find it on page number 3. If I click on page, there is no click on page number 3. And if I go to page number 3, there is no page number 3. This one is just one page. So now you see, I have plethora of things to fix in this. If I just start here, this is your beginning point, and then you can go backward or write these tests. And now they have to fix a lot of things to take it to production. That's the current state. Although it's a very good way to feel or do mock-ups. I can show what the app looks like and all. I can get first level of feedback. So I'm not discounting this, but there is a lot more that needs to happen if I want to get real feedback or build production level app rather than just giving a PRD and prompt. Okay. So I showed you these are the problems. So what I did is I saw these problems, so I listed it for you. So this is the traditional software development lifecycle. This is our spec-driven development workflow. So let's do it, right? How to make this happen? The first step is you write your PRDs, which has these 4 or 5 functions, but you also write more in your PRDs now. These are the new specs or new functions we are looking for. We are looking for your grounding strategy. How you want the AI to know which knowledge to use and how to ground it, which is what the link was, the page number 3, right? So now you need to tell explicitly that, hey, you need to ground in the contract. And every time I click there, I should be able to go and fall back to it. So write your grounding strategies or your knowledge, which is 2 components, memory, as well as which data you are using to ground AI answers. Then what your AI is not supposed to do? You say that it will not answer any questions. If the user greets it, you're supposed to greet the user back. You're not supposed to do these things so that you can constrain your apps to few things rather than solving for everything, which will reduce the hallucination in your apps. So what is your strategy? That needs to go in PRD as a product. Then your cost budget, how much you want to spend as your app will have many tools, knowledge to retrieve, many steps to take with those loops, you have to set the restriction on budget also. Say, hey, I want to make sure that with this model, I don't want to spend more than $2 getting these risks or extracting the key terms. So set your budgets, and that way the AI will know when to stop and when to get you the best answer. And you will be able to run the right evaluations and build eval strategy. So then you need a better PID, and your PID will have these new 4 components at least. Okay. Here is a sample that you can use. So this is a complete PID sample, and we are giving it to you so that you can look at it. This looks at problem user core metrics. It provides you grounding strategy, hallucination, your cost budget, your eval strategy. And we have also put a lot of stuff more than that so that you can continue playing. But these 4 or 5 things are essential. And then you can pick and choose these if you want to add this or not, based on which stage you are going in. Which is it your first app? If not, then these are all little optional. If you're building your first app, you're fine. But if you're contributing to an existing code base, then 10, 11, 12, 13 also becomes very important for you. And we have given you a new PID, which you can use now. And this PID has the additional sections needed to make or ground your teams for spec-based development. Cool. So now we have the PID. So should we stop here as PMs or people and say we have done the right PID? Or can we actually go and build the app, which is production ready, like engineers do? What should we do? 9:41.
Build that.
Keep
Build
going.
that.
Okay, great.
Build it.
Build it. Yay. Okay, then. If this is your first step, then what I did is I took it and I put a new uh, high level design. So now I'm getting your input is the PID document, which I just showed you. And what output you will get, your first step is you will get a high level design document, which Sachin, can you give me the new link? Because this link is pointing to the old one and I changed it before, but we will fix the link. And what you will get is a engineering doc or a high level design document. How that looks, that will look like your design.md, legal contract design, not design system. So this is your first step. This is your high level design. What this will have is, okay, I'm building my product scope. These are my personas. And for each personas, this is the user flow. What happens on each step of that? What a returning user does, what a core process looks like, what are the users supposed to upload, then what are we supposed to process, then what the results will be, what are the chat, what is the architecture front end, what is the back end architecture, all the details. And we are using AI to generate all this. So you need to review with a human, but you will get all these kind of details that your AI coding agents needs to build a production ready app. So that's the outcome of this exercise. So once you have it, you will get an HLD. Next step, what I did is I took it and I did it with a human review. Once I have done that, I took, and these are the sections inside that. Then I took that and I said, hey, you know what? Let's take that high level design and generate a low level design on this. So that's my low level design also. So you will see my low level design, which is part of that high level design. So now I take my high level design, the engineering doc as an input, and then I get my high level design, which is in the same folder, a low level design. And once I have my low level design, I can go and review that. After that, I also wrote an execution.md, which is nothing but if you click on this, it specifies what I am tracking, my core metrics as a product manager. So your app will have an admin mode. And in that, if you log in, you will be able to see how many users logged into your app, how many gave you positive feedback, what is the actual business impact of your app, which is we have reduced the sales deal velocity by doing this contract review by 15 days. We have 58 minutes review time. It was like 6 weeks We have reduced it to minutes. We have weekly retention. People who are using the product are coming back to it. And this is the revenue uplift. So it's not only AI metrics. So we have AI quality metrics, user trust metrics, and business metrics. These all were defined in your PRD. They were cleared in your LLDs and got executed in your execution.md files. Once you have that, you can also have this last thing, which is your design systems. So you can also give your design system guidelines, which is this is how my buttons, my color schemes use. So you can create your design systems or use your existing design system. So then I pass my design system to this AI agent. And now I have a PRD. I create an engineering doc. From that, I create specs. Then I create an execution MD. And then only I go to deployment. And once I have it, I will have a production ready app. And that's how this app looks like. Let me give you a demo. So finally, the app looks like this. You can actually sign into it. And if I give ABC, obviously, I already signed into it. So let me just sign out. And if I sign out and if I give even something wrong, which is, let's say, I change this from this to 9, and I say sign in, it says invalid email and password. That means there is real authentication behind the scenes. If I go and log in with the real one, then only it lets me sign in. And I can create new ones. So the first phase is production ready. It lends me to my dashboard. I can see how many contracts we have gone and tried with this app. I can see MSAs, and I can go and review these contracts. If I review it, when it says it's on page number 1, it's actually on page number 1. If I goes and says page number 6, it's on page number 6. So this is the experts from page number 6 that you are seeing. This is the text format. And now you can chat with it. And when you chat, it will not hallucinate like last time. You can go in admin mode and you can also see your product analytics with this app. And this is built using this 5-step process, which I gave you. We are also releasing this as a lab. So all of you should be able to go and deploy more spec-based apps than just vibe-based apps. And I know this can be a little intuitive and will require some time to digest because we offloaded a lot of stuff. So for that, we will be doing more sessions on this. The next session is about data pipelines. So how can you create and put all your data? And we will build the dashboard, the admin dashboard. So we'll try to see how can you get your feedback from different apps and put it at one data lake and then do analytics on top of it. That's coming up next. If you want to sign up, that's next Friday, because building and analyzing data are the two key functions where AI is getting applied today in pretty much every team. And this will allow you to go build with production scale systems with spec-based development. But the next layer will allow you to build your data strategy and put all your company data or build a company brain, which you can use to create analytics and generate weekly business review reports or get at runtime dashboards. Okay. Then we will take you one step forward and take you to AI Foundry and Claude Code. That's the next free session. We have 24 hours left. If you found that this spec-based development and you want to follow along, because I tried my best to land it in 1 hour, but I think it requires a whole course. And that's exactly the course does. This is a course where we are taking it to the next step, where we will be working on day 1 on Claude Code and building app using the spec-based development that I showed you. We'll also ask you to build your own projects using the spec-based development, and you will see all the challenges and problems which will get you ready for 2026 interviews, and as well as bringing the benefits of AI into production, which is top of mind for everybody this year. So if you are interested, we're giving 30% off, and the course starts tomorrow. We'll give you a lot of pre-reads and ramp you up. And then we will have 4 weeks of building, in which we will show you how to build right with Claude Code using spec-based development. We'll show you how to build your data strategy on data lakes. Then we will show you how to scale your AI function with AI Foundry. And then we will go and troubleshoot or debug with you anything that you build. And hopefully, end of it, you will be ready with not only skills or understanding, a deep understanding of how Claude works, but also become a forward deployed engineer who can actually build with your customers. So that's the first goal. Second, I will also share a lot of interview prep hints or learnings that I have done in my life. So this will here we will show you how to build your AI interview strategy, how to go and get ready for your first interview using AI tools and other skills, and then how to prepare for real AI PM interviews, especially system design interviews and AI product sense interviews. What are the core questions? We will have a lot of mock sessions also. So that's the second piece in this. And of course, I will be sharing a lot of workshops and what I have learned, giving a lot of interviews, and also building every day. So if you want to join, 24 hours, 30% off. And that's the last thing. By the way, I also have Brian. Brian is an awesome guy. He worked in with me at Meta, and he wrote a guide on how to crack product sense interviews, which I personally used to crack product sense interviews. So I requested him to come, and he will be doing a session with our cohort. And then Charu will be coming. She is part of our cohort, I think our early cohort too. And she has built a company called RollStack, which actually automates all the pain of finding jobs, which is finding a role, tailoring your CV, applying your job, and be the first top 10 applications for every job that you're trying to apply for. And she will share what are the trends look like, how can you stay ahead in the race if you are looking for new AI roles. So that's Charu's session. And beyond that, I have also requested 6 or 10 of our previous cohort members who have gone and cracked these interviews. So they will be doing lightning sessions or fireside chat with me to share what worked, what didn't work, what are their experiences. So I think overall it's a good 5 to 6 weeks that you should spend with us starting tomorrow. How can you get everything that we are teaching for free? This is every Friday sessions. This is our Substack community. Please sign up for Substack community. We will invite you for all our sessions, and we will share this recording, the lab that I discussed today, and other things if you're part of our Substack community. With that said, I want to thank you all